So what about Christmas breakfast?
So for me, we always had casseroles, and that's why we do it at our house. We would have a breakfast casserole. We would have, you started doing the cinnamon roll thing, and that's kind of where I learned that. And it's really easy. It's pretty much brown sugar, butter, and chopped pecans in the bottom of an iron skillet or casserole dish. You got to get the big grand cinnamon rolls, the ones that are rolled up. I don't want the biscuit ones. I want the ones that are rolled up. You put them on top of it, and you bake it. And then you turn it out, and all that sticky, ooey, caramelized goodness is all over the top of them. It's like think of an upside down pineapple cake. Mm-hmm. It's kind of upside down cinnamon rolls.
And then you take the icing
that came with it. And, it's a cream cheese icing, and you drizzle that over it, and, man, that's good, too.
Welcome to Malcom Read's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rochelle Read.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcom Read, joined by my festive, lovely, talented wife, Miss Southern Shell. Got your little brooch on for Christmas, your Griswold sweater.
I busted out all my Christmas clothes.
Today is Christmas lunch day at How to Barbecue Right. Merry Christmas, Tyler. He's over on the boards. Look, he's got his. You got is that an elf?
Buddy the Elf.
Heck yeah, I love it. I didn't get the memo on wearing a Christmas.
Oh, I asked you last night. I said, "Do you have?"
Last night.
Do you have any Christmas outfits?
I used to have one. I do it for the hose.
No, you do it for the ho ho hos.
Is that what it is? Okay, but I don't know what happened.
And it had Santa on it.
He does it for the ho ho hos. It's 3 of them.
I think that one probably got given to Goodwill.
Probably so. It's one of those, you just need it for one party.
Yeah.
And then that's it. I could at least put on a Santa hat. I got one of those in there somewhere.
Next week.
Next week is next week. Okay, we got one more episode. This is the next to last How to Barbecue Right podcast
of
2024. Where has the year gone? It's been fun.
It's gone fast.
It's gone super fast.
You've been on the move here lately.
I have. Since we've last done a podcast. We didn't do one when I made a pit stop.
No, so it was Thanksgiving and then you were gone.
Yep. After Thanksgiving.
3 weeks.
I did. It wasn't 3 weeks. It was 2 weeks. 2 weeks. But I went to Texas and went hunting for an axis deer, and I shot me a big old axis deer. He's an old man.
That meat's
brought
already
that
in the
meat
freezer.
back. It's already in the freezer, and I'm excited to be cooking some axis.
So, how did the axis get broke down? Was it
to bring it back? We actually had to, really break the carcass down. So, a lot of it was cut off the bone. It was quartered, cut off the bone, debone the hindquarters because they were so big. Cut out the back straps, the inner tenderloins, and I just wanted those for steaks, and left the inner tenderloins whole, and then I got the rest of it just ground.
Okay.
So we could use it in whatever.
So how big was this deer?
Oh, shoot. He was huge. Like, if I had to, they didn't have, their scale was broke to weigh him, but he was well over 250 pounds.
Dang.
It's a big animal. But he wasn't nothing like the one I got last week.
And
actually, that wasn't last week. What day was that? Sunday. So it was just, I guess it was last week, but it was Sunday. I came back home from Texas. Like, we got back on a Thursday. I washed clothes. Did we go to dinner? I can't remember.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you cooked dinner that night. I went to sleep, and then I had to be at the airport because my flight was leaving at 6 a.m. So I left the house at 4 o'clock that morning and went to North Dakota. We flew to North Dakota. We got there on Friday.
Where'd you fly out? Bismarck?
Yeah, we went to Minneapolis. Got to see all the Viking stuff. Man, it was looking good.
I bet they're
in
all
the Minneapolis airport. Man, everybody's sculling, and it's all purple and gold, and man, things are looking good. If we could just get Detroit to lose a couple games, it's one of the best years I've ever had as a Vikings fan, and it was completely out of surprise. And
not expecting it. That's normally how it goes. Yeah,
they are playing good football as a team. The receivers are looking good. Defense is strong. Sam Darnold's doing what he's supposed to do, not making too many mistakes. So if we can keep that up, who knows? Playoff run may be in the cards for the Vikings. It's exciting. And they're probably going to be a wild card, and they could go one and done. So you never know, but it's been a fun year. But with the Minneapolis,
we're keeping it positive. We're going
then hopped on another little plane and went to Bismarck.
What's
North
a little
Dakota.
plane?
Just a 2 and 2. They didn't.
Okay.
They didn't. Yeah, where I was, it was a 1 on one side and 2 on the other. up the front because my butt's about too big for the back. I've done it, but it ain't.
You like a little elbow room.
Yeah, I like a little elbow room. If I'm sitting with you, it's fine. Or if we can get lucky and not have somebody in that middle seat. But I don't think this one had 3 seats in the back. It was small. But we went to Bismarck, and that was, man, you talk about a good airport to fly in. They've only got 4 gates. And it's like you walk in, security's right there, and there's 2 gates here and 2 gates here, and that's it.
That's my kind of
frills.
airport.
Oh, yeah, it was clean. People were cool. But we flew in there and got shocked. You step outside, it is cold. North Dakota is a cold place. Luckily, it was like that Saturday and Sunday we actually hunted was a little bit warmer than normal. And it did start raining and spitting snow. And by the time we left, it was like that day, I think it was going to get to 20, but the wind was blowing like 30 miles an hour. So it was like 0. It was cold. It's one of the coldest places I've ever been in my life.
So you still haven't said what you went to Bismarck for.
To hunt a bison or buffalo, if y'all want to call it that.
Is there a difference?
It's really not a buffalo in North America.
Oh, okay.
People call them buffaloes, but it's the American bison. And you think a buffalo is like water buffalo or Cape buffalo, those big animals. But this is more of it's a bison. I guess it's its own animal. I don't know if it's in the bovine. I guess it is in the bovine family.
I think so.
But it's a beast. I know that.
So did you get you one?
I did. I got a big one.
How much did that thing weigh?
They didn't weigh it, but the guide told us that it was every bit over 3,000 pounds. It was at least 14 years old animal. This place we're on, I think they have a herd that grazes their property, and this property's huge. I'm talking tens of thousands of acres. They have a herd of like I think it's 1,700 or 17, something. It's a lot of how many buffalo are just free range in their place, because these animals only get they get human contact once a year because they actually herd them up the best they can and sort them, and they're sort of pulling out the young ones, and then that's the only time they get any kind of human contact.
Why do they sort them?
Because they do sell some of them for meat. They pull out the herd, so the animals are breeding. They're doing all this in the wild. It's not fenced or anything. I mean, they have barbed wire fences, but the one I chased stepped over with a 5-strand barbed wire fence, just like it was nothing. Then I had to go under it. Then another one I had to go over. So it was definitely a cool experience to get to go chase those animals.
Mark said you put in some work for that buffalo.
I worked, yeah. It was like, there's 5 of us hunting. So he said, we'll probably have time to hunt 3 on one day and then 2 on the other day. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into it, but I got one, and I got a big one, and I had to work for it. And then we got it back home, and now all that meat's going to get processed and get in the freezer. And we're going to have axis deer, and we're going to have buffalo. So we're not going to need any beef this year. Unless it's coming from the butcher shop. I mean, I'm never going to turn it. Like Kroger, you probably not going to get any of my money on beef with all this good meat I got in the freezer.
So what are we getting from buffalo? Is it steaks? Is it ground?
You'll get steaks, roast, and ground.
Okay.
That's the way we're having it done.
Okay, so we're going to have bison roast and stuff.
Yeah.
And Mark went with them to film, so if y'all want to watch this, it should be out on Buck Junkies before the end of the year.
Hopefully we're going to have some of that, and then we might the processor's coming up here to process these next week, and I hope that we're going to get some footage that we're going to send the camera guys over with Mark to get some footage on some of that. That's going to be really cool.
So do you get
some butchering?
Will you get ribs?
No.
Or will that be ground?
Yeah, that'll be ground. They like on our rib cages, the way we had to do these to bring them back, we had to quarter the animal. So you've got shoulders and hindquarters, and then the midsection was so big. When I'm talking big, we had to pick this thing up with a tractor. There's no one man's not going to pick up. You're not going to just hoist it up.
Yeah, you're talking about the whole animal or even the quarters.
The quarters is like it's all you can do. Like one quarter is as big as a deer. Like the shoulder, like you can grab it and manhandle it, but it's like there's no just running with it.
Yeah,
it's a job. So you can think how big a cow is. This animal's bigger than a cow. So it was pretty cool. That's all I can say. It was really cool.
Where are we going to put this meat?
I think I'm going to have to go buy a new freezer.
Yeah.
So you said you'll never turn down meat from the butcher shop. I was like, where are you going to put it?
Yeah.
That's a lot of...
We have to cook it. And to cook it.
Heck yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of good red meat
Eaten
in the Reed household.
Is bison what we turned in from the exotic? Okay,
it is.
So I love
bison ribeye.
So good.
It's really good. Every time I've ever had bison, I've enjoyed it.
So we cooked.
It's a rich flavor.
We cooked some bison porterhouse steaks the last night I was up there. We asked the guy because they do sell some of their meat too. I don't know if they ship it, but they sell it up there. And I was like, man, we want to eat some. So would you mind if I bought some and then we cook them here at camp? And so we cooked some for the guide, and I think his brother was there, the people that own the ranch, and then the guys that were with us, and man, it was delicious. I mean, it was tender as it could be.
So are we getting ribeyes?
Yeah. Okay. Should get ribeyes, fillets. I mean, you got just the same cuts that come off a cow, come off a bison.
That's what I was thinking.
They're just not as fatty. It's a leaner animal, and it's all like grass grazed. They don't supplemental feed these things. They're just roaming up there on I guess it's rolling plains, so it's kind of a big. I mean, they call them hills. To me, they were like mountains. You got to walk up them. And you're from Mississippi, that's a mountain. But it was, the terrain was. I'd never seen anything like it. It's just think of grassland as far as you could see. That's the way it was. There's nothing. I mean, that's all it is. That's all it was there when I was there. I mean, the Bismarck it's a city, but it's not very big, and it's surrounded just by all this grasslands. And man, you talk about bird habitat, ducks and pheasants and geese, and I mean, I saw moose. Like,
oh, really?
There was we were driving to where we were going to hunt one morning, and it's about a 30-minute drive, and there was 6 cow moose come out of like this wooded area going across the highway or the road we were on, and right behind them was bullwinkle. And I was like, I've never seen a moose. And the guy driving like stopped the truck and jumped out with his camera. And it's because we said, man, I didn't even know there was moose here. And he's like, we see them, but it's usually only 2 or 3 times a year. And to get a tag to hunt them is almost impossible. But they do have a season for hunting moose there. But just to get to see them kind of up close, dude, you talk about a big animal.
Is that as big as a buffalo or not?
It's
quite?
taller. Now, body-wise, the buffalo's got him in mass, but just in like shoulder height, it's massive. I mean, legs and the body on it was huge, and his big horns, big paddle-looking horns. It was really cool.
So
then we flew back, and now we're back at work.
Yeah, and it's time for Christmas.
It is. It is here.
It's here.
We've only got one more full week before it's Christmas week, so y'all better get those presents under the tree. It is time. It's probably too late for a guaranteed delivery of orders, right? What was our last day?
I think the end of this week. So today or tomorrow, yeah.
Those delivery drivers are going to be humping it next week.
Yeah.
That's got to be the busiest week of the year for them.
That's the problem this time of year. I don't feel like it's like a fulfillment side of things. It's just like hard to get anything delivered anywhere.
Yeah.
So many packages going places.
Oh man,
they just get lost
and damaged, and yeah.
UPS dropped off. What is that tote thing that's sitting on our porch?
I guess I ordered so much they would put it in a tote.
I've never seen that. It's like this fold-out, collapsible, big yellow tote thing.
I assume they're going to take it back, so it's been on the porch for like a week. But I got my eye on it.
I know.
It's a really good tote. It'd be perfect for hauling barbecue stuff around.
It would be.
It's like post office gold star. You got a gold star. You got the
tote.
Yeah. So turns out we've been doing mashed potatoes all wrong.
So what is there to do besides boil them, mash them, mix them with butter?
So I watched a TikTok. when I tell you I found out something, it's usually from TikTok. So they boil them, and you know how we drain them and immediately add like cold butter because we say it melts it. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to let your potatoes steam out completely and let all the moisture get out, because you want all that moisture to get out so it'll absorb more of your cream and your butter, and it makes them creamier.
Before you ever mash them?
Before you ever mash them. You pour them in your strainer and let them hang out.
So
they don't
for how long?
Until the steam's done steaming, till all that steams out.
Yeah.
Because you want all the water gone from your potato, as much as you can get.
Yeah.
And then adding, he said there's 2 things that make mashed potatoes stretchy and gluey. over mixing them and adding cold butter and cream. So you should have your butter hot and your cream hot. And he did a mixture of cream, butter, and a little hot sauce and salt and pepper.
So it looks more like a sauce?
Yeah, it was a cream sauce.
Yeah.
And then he added them and he only mixed them for 45 seconds, which I never really overwork them, but I always add cold.
I've always just like took the mashed potatoes, strained them fast, put them back in the same pot, maybe hold a little of the starchy water.
Yeah.
Just in case you need it, but then stick a cold butter in there and let that butter soften up. Don't just I don't go working it in. I let it sit there a few minutes and get the butter really soft and then fold it in.
I used to put the cold butter in the bottom, like pour my potatoes into the strainer, put my butter in the bottom of the pan and put the hot
right on top,
let it hang out for a second, then mix it up. But no, you need to let them steam out so all the moisture gets off of them. So it'll absorb the milk and the cream or whatever you want to put in there a lot better.
So do they use sour cream at all?
He didn't.
It's just milk and heavy cream and a little hot sauce is what you do?
And seasonings, yeah.
That's totally...
But you could do whatever you wanted, but just the fact of it doesn't need to be cold.
Yeah. So that's different than what I thought you were fixing to tell me. Have you seen the people use this ricer?
Yes.
To where they boil the potatoes and they put it in that, and it's supposed to make them velvety. It's like you mash them through this press.
It's like a big garlic press almost.
That was what I was expecting. You were saying I needed a new gadget. Because have you ever, I guess in fancy restaurants, they rice all of it to make it velvety smooth.
Well, I did go down a whole rabbit hole of mashed potato making after I saw that.
Well, what about
a lot of them use that.
So what about the ones they boil in milk? Like instead of using just water to boil the potato, they boil them in milk and add butter to it.
I didn't get on that side of TikTok.
I always add a couple pats of butter to my water too. And salt.
Really?
Yeah,
always add salt.
Salt and butter go in the water, but not like a lot of butter, just like a pat or two. And then a good pinch of salt, pour it in my hand and just.
I do AP. I do a.
Yeah. Yours has some garlic and pepper and stuff already in it too.
Yeah. Because I'm hoping it absorbs into the potatoes it's boiling, is my, thought process. I don't know if it would. Anyway, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. I want to see. I want to see if it makes a difference.
Yeah. So today I wanted to talk to you about Christmas treats.
Tis the season.
Okay.
Smoked Christmas treats or just Christmas treats in general?
All of them. So this is the question.
What's the best Christmas treat?
I feel like that's personal.
Yeah, because I'm going to have to throw Christmas tree cakes up there. I've been eating on them for a month. Since Halloween, since the pumpkins are gone. Christmas tree cakes have been part of the diet.
And Reese's Christmas trees. Okay, so if somebody gives you a basket of goodies, you get a basket of goodies from somebody that probably knows how to cook.
Yeah.
What are you hoping to see in that basket?
Christmas trash, for one. That better be in there.
Chex Mix.
It's basically smoked Chex Mix. Yes. Savory, smoky, and it's really, really good.
I'm got it on my list to make Chex Mix.
Yeah, you better.
We did.
It's not Christmas till you have something, till you make a batch of that.
My Chex Mix is a little different because I do less cereal
and more treat.
And more, I do. It's an expensive Chex Mix because I got pecans and cashews and
bugles, goldfish, or Cheez-Its.
I usually do a batch with Cheez-Its.
I gotta have the Cheez-Its,
and I do a batch without because y'all like the Cheez-Its and I don't.
You don't like them, really?
They're okay.
It just goes in it. You know which cereal is better than Chex in it?
Crispit.
I was gonna say because it's like two kinds of Chex in one.
It's corn and rice.
Yeah.
So one side's rice, one side's corn. So I only do Crispix and then I'll get the wheat Chex because I think the wheat has that good flavor.
Yeah. And the other one that's very important that you have to have, and they're the hardest ones to find.
The little
toast.
I call them Melba toast, but I know that's not what
it is. It's Gardetto's rye chip.
It's a garlic rye chip.
Yeah. And I like the little sesame sticks too. When you can find those are good in it.
Somebody sent us a gift basket and it had a bag. I put my name on it. I'm going to put him in my trash.
That's going in the Chex Mix? Yeah. You call it trash, I guess. Christmas trash.
We've always called it trash. And I see some people do, but it's really just Chex Mix.
Hey, if you keep your eyes out in the grocery stores this time of year, on the cereal aisle, they'll have little free samples of the seasoning for Chex Mix. And I always grab me a handful of those when I walk by. They're like in a little free coupon-like thing.
It's like a ranch packet.
Yeah, but it goes really good, and when you're making your Christmas trash.
I always do. Like, whatever your recipe is, I always add a lot more season in.
Yeah, Worcestershire, butter.
Yeah, butter.
You can do it. I mean, yeah, you can do it in the oven, but it's really good when you put it out on a pellet grill. And all you do is, I mean, it's like 275 for about an hour. Stir it every 15 minutes. You're not really stirring it. You're just taking a big spatula and kind of folding it. Is that how you do it? Like in a big aluminum steamer pan?
And then I'll tell you what seasons really good on it. Like AP's good on it, but King Crawl is really good on.
It's kind of it gives it that Cajun-y, bold flavor.
It's not enough Cajun flavor to be like, oh, this is Cajun, but it's a little kick. It's a little spice.
A little herbiness. Mm-hmm. I'm down for that. That's a must. When you're making Christmas treats, you got to have that.
What else? Do you have a sweet treat?
Yes. So there's two that I really like. I love the peanut butter fudge, and then I'm a peanut butter balls. I love those things. Those are so good.
It's a lot of people call them Buckeyes.
Is that what it is? My mom's recipe just says peanut butter balls, and you only get them at Christmas. But it's like a little.
It's almost like a Reese's.
It's almost like it's kind of like a peanut butter truffle because you dip it in the melted chocolate. That one's good. The little haystacks are good.
The haystacks are easy too.
Yeah, they're easy. I'm trying to think of what else comes to mind. If you can make divinity,
it's got to be the right.
But there's a lot of people can't. Oh, and pralines. Pralines is Christmas. Like you got to make some pralines. You usually make them because your mom loves them.
Check. And the thing about pralines is the humidity's got to be low. And I checked the humidity, and all next week it's going to be
wrecked.
Yeah.
That's just where we live. So tell me, they say that. They always say it's got to be the humidity, but they make pralines year round in New Orleans, one of the most humid places on earth. Never been there in the summer. And there's still, those ladies are making pralines. Do you think there's a difference in like summertime pralines in New Orleans versus wintertime pralines in New Orleans?
I think it's a difference between whether they get kind of that hard texture, that hard matte texture, or if they get they're still soft.
Completely soft.
Yeah.
Do you think they have like an industrial sized dehumidifier? Like
maybe. I don't know.
That's a good question. You can watch some ladies make them. Like they've got the glass counter, like where you walk outside the building, you can see through the windows and watch them sitting in there and make candy. So.
But it is all contained. It might have a dehumidifier.
That would make sense if they've got a way to control the humidity in that room.
But I'm gonna make banana bread.
That's not really Christmas.
Yeah, but Michael loves it.
Yeah,
and I always give it to one of our friends, and I think I'm gonna do my brown butter Rice Krispie treats,
like the Christmas Frankenstein style. Ones that you cheated and won the thing.
How come every time we have a contest, the person who wins, doesn't matter who it is, they cheated?
Unless I win.
I think that was the most fair thing we've ever had.
It probably was, really. No, those were
but when you
brown butter and Rice Krispie treats next level. But are you going to dress them up like Santa Claus or reindeers? Or
no, I was just going to drizzle a little green and red on top once they got done. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Instead of dipping them to make them look like Frankenstein, I'm going to just kind of drizzle it across the top.
Like candy cane stripes almost.
Yeah.
I did have, when I was in North Dakota, one of the desserts, they made brownies. And I asked the guy, I said, "But what did you do to these? They taste like Thin Mints for Girl Scout cookie Thin Mints." And I love those things. And he said, we substituted the vanilla for peppermint oil. And it gave, he said, these are just regular box brownies. And it gave it such a unique, it reminded me of Christmas because it had that little mint to it. And it wasn't like overly powering. It just tasted like a Thin Mint, but the chocolate and that went together and it just reminded me of Christmas. I said, man, these are good holiday treats.
So he used a box brownie mix.
Yeah, that was it.
And he just added a little mint to it?
He added like a teaspoon or whatever it was. He said, I substituted the vanilla for peppermint oil in the brownie and it made it. So you could do that, and you could even ice those brownies.
Yeah.
It would be really, really good Christmas
Maybe put some raspberries on top.
Yeah, I'd do little sprinkles on it, and it would look festive. Or either bust up some peppermint.
Ooh, yeah.
And just garnish it with that a little bit.
With a lot. That's a really good idea.
I might need to do some of those and try them for me.
But people will be like, what
the
is
diet's
this?
off in the holiday. We'll worry about this after New Year's. We're going to get down with it, though, here for the next 2 weeks.
Real quick, let's pay some bills.
Okay. The How to Barbecue Right podcast is brought to you by our friends at Primo Grills. Shell, Did you know that Primo is the only ceramic grill made right here in the good old USA?
What? Are you telling me that Primo grills are proudly crafted here in the USA, ensuring top-notch quality and support for local craftsmanship?
I sure am. Plus, Primo Grill not only delivers mouth-watering flavor, but because of their innovative oval design and superior ceramic construction, Primo Grills also gives you a ton of cooking versatility.
Whether you're smoking low and slow or searing a steak to perfection, Primo Grills gives you the consistent heat distribution for mouth-watering results every time.
What she said, y'all. Y'all visit primogrill.com and check them out.
One of my favorite things at Christmas time is Christmas finger foods or Christmas party foods.
What's your favorite?
Oh, there's so many. Anything with cheese.
Yeah.
Anything with bread. You know those little mini cheese balls? I really like those.
They call them cheese truffles.
Cheese truffles.
Same thing, but it's like a one-bite cheese ball that you kind of toss in some chopped bacon.
You can do anything.
You use like a little melon baller and then roll it out
Yeah.
into a ball. And then
it's just the easiest way to keep them, consistent.
Mm-hmm. I saw one that I want to do. It was, and this will go great on a charcuterie board, and that's great for entertaining.
Yeah, we always do.
Out that.
A lot of charcuterie boards.
It's everything you want, but it was marinated cheese with little chunks of salami, and it had like the little, what do you call those little midget pickles? They're not gherkins. Are they gherkins? It's the little bitty baby
starts
ones.
With C.
I know what you're talking about, and I don't know how to say that. Coucherons or
something like that.
That's what it was. And then it had the olives that you like in your martinis. And you mix all this up and you drizzle it with it was almost like a herb vinaigrette. And you put it in a jar and you store it in the refrigerator. When you get ready to serve it, you dump it out in a martini glass. And you can use toothpicks to let people get it. And it's all this marinated stuff. And it just looked fantastic. Oh, it had sun-dried tomatoes in it too. I saw it on TikTok.
You could chop it up and make it almost a relish or, not into that.
I don't know. I think it's better individually because it was more like it could be an appetizer, or it would go like you could have that on your charcuterie board where you had dried meats and cheeses and stuff, but then you have this marinated version too.
I like the idea of the martini glass or some sort of glass that gets it up.
Yeah,
so
elevates
it gives you more
up.
surface area.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you height difference. So I really like pigs in a blanket.
Oh yeah, man, you got to have those at Christmas.
So I saw Big K on TikTok. He did a pigs in the blanket, but he used the whole crescent roll sheet.
Yeah,
and a full size smoked sausage. And I love that idea because you can.
Do you roll it up or do you slice it once you get it rolled up and then cook it? Like, is it cooked whole?
Yeah.
Or is it?
He cooked it whole. So he took his crescent roll sheet, rolled it out. He put cheese on it. But I was thinking you could do that cream cheese, that jalapeno cream cheese you do.
Yeah.
Put it down. And then you can use a higher quality smoked sausage.
Mm-hmm.
So that, takes it to another level. And he rolled it up.
Pleasing?
Yeah, use country pleasing in there. He rolled it up. And then he did an egg wash and put jalapenos on top.
Yeah.
And then baked it just like that. And then when he pulled it out, he cut it. So every piece, it was just a little piece about this big, and it had a jalapeno on top. And it's easier. You don't have to roll all the little ones up, know.
You're doing it all at once. I like that idea.
I did too.
I mean, I guess you could, and it would stay upright instead of like if you cut them in slices, you're going to have to cook them on their side or something.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I thought so too. But you could put anything inside the crescent. And he said one crescent roll.
One sheet does one?
No, 3. It did 3 smoked sausages. So he'd
way,
roll a
really?
little. Yeah. He just
roll
rolled
it and slice and then
cut it, and then rolled another one and cut it. So that's a party's worth.
Try that.
A small party's worth.
Yeah.
It's like a bougie kolache.
That's what I was thinking. See, when you said roll the whole sauce, I said, I bet
it
it's
is
like a
kind of
kolache.
like kolache.
Yeah. Because they put the jalapenos, a little piece of it on top to indicate it's a spicy one.
But you could put anything you want inside there. You could use any
The cream
type
cheese
of
would work because it's going to stay together. You couldn't really do any kind of other cheese that melt and run.
He did a melty cheese.
Did it run like when he sliced it up?
I mean, by that time, it's already cooked. So,
yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. I haven't seen. I'm gonna have to go look at that.
You could do any flavor sausage you wanted. Anyway, I thought that was a great idea.
That would work good for breakfast too. You don't have to do spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sitting here
Kids
like,
would love it.
thinking in my brain, like Country Pleasing's got that blueberry maple.
That's
sausage.
exactly what I was going.
And I'm like, if you could figure out a way to get like a sweet pastry on the outside,
Yeah.
almost like a pancake, you'd have like a really cool like pancake on a stick.
Or you could serve it and like just dip it in maple syrup, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That could be your dipping
Oh,
sauce.
that's a good idea. Turn a breakfast pigs in a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
You could even use the little sausage links.
Yeah.
Do them.
Yeah.
That would work. Oh, but well, when you get into sausage, we're talking sausage balls. If that isn't holidays, if that doesn't say Christmas, I don't know what does.
I saw somebody on TikTok.
Watch a lot of TikTok. I know I do.
They were like transplants living in the South. They were, from the North living in the South, and they were trying Southern recipes, and sausage balls was one of those. So I guess it's a Southern thing.
Surely not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is?
I'd never heard of
Really?
before I moved here. No.
Have y'all seen the ones they're doing with cream cheese and rotel sausage balls?
No, that sounds good. Though.
I haven't tried them yet, but there's no way it can be bad.
I'd try it.
Yeah. But sausage balls, that's a staple.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
It's breakfast. It's
Heck,
party.
that's probably-
It's afternoon snack. It's
my
whatever you want it
granny
to be.
always, like from the time I was a little kid, there would always be like an old Christmas tin with the wax paper, and it'd be layers of sausage balls.
Sitting there getting all hard and crusty.
Well, you put them in the refrigerator, and when people are coming over, you take them out, let them get room temp, and they're still good. Now, you can't beat them coming out of cast iron, like right out of the oven. And if you want something to season your cast iron, go ahead and cook some sausage balls in your skillet. And then all you do is when it gets done is take a paper towel and wipe it around good and then put it back upside down. It seasons the skillet so good.
It does. All that grease cooks out.
I like cooking them on the little flat one you have. It's a cast iron. It's not a fajita pan. It's just a round, like a 10-inch. Looks like a skillet, but it doesn't have sides.
It's perfect for pancakes, sausage
One pancake.
pancakes, sausage balls, and grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah, it's excellent for that.
So I saw something. Didn't see this one on TikTok. They had taken bacon and wrapped it in a mini cupcake tin, and so they were made bacon bowls.
Oh, that was the kind of the outside edge of the tin.
Yeah, and then they baked it, and then they used that bacon bowl, essentially little mini bacon bowl, for little mini salads.
Did you
or a Caesar salad or something like
I
that?
can see that.
I thought it'd be really good with like the toppings from a wedge salad, little blue cheese, little.
Well, do you know
tomato.
how Porch and Parlor does that chopped salad?
Yeah,
Where it's almost like the grinder salad almost, and it's all one consistency, chopped up, and then you put it in that, and you could pick it up and eat it.
Yes.
How'd they do the bottom?
They wrapped it, so I mean it made a whole little, like a phyllo cup, but instead of phyllo, it was
all
bacon. Yeah,
I bet that's really good.
I know, but
you
you could
do
put
it on
anything in there.
you do it on the pan inverted, like
They
on the
did
back.
it just in the cup.
And so what they do with all the grease? It just grease in the bottom, and you take it out.
You're asking me more questions than I know. I hadn't tried it yet.
Because I'm thinking you could do it on the like spray the backside of the muffin pan.
Oh yeah, like
and
you
then
do a bread bowl.
Yeah, and then build it around it and cook that in the oven. You probably have to set it on another sheet pan to catch all the grease that's going to run down.
That'd probably be a more effective way to do it because your grease is going to run down. Your bacon will get crispy.
Crispy. That's what I was thinking. Like if it's all in that thing, is it going to get crispy on all sides?
Yeah, especially the bottom, which is
That's
what you want it.
Yeah. I was thinking if it's touching that, it might not.
You're right.
It might still be floppy. But if it was inverted like that, it probably would do pretty good.
But you could take those little bacon balls and put anything in them.
Mac and cheese.
Ooh,
Just get you a scoop, like a big ice cream scoop of mac and cheese in that bacon bowl. Oh man,
that's such a good way to serve
heck yeah,
macaroni and cheese for a party food.
it would be. Be real.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
Be a fancy mac and cheese, like you do a aged white cheddar or something like that. You don't have to do the
You wouldn't do Kraft.
casserole. Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm bringing to the party. Kraft mac and cheese in a bacon bowl. I bet people would still like it.
So just spitfiles. I had a list. You love pinwheels.
Oh, you got to have them.
Yeah. It's like tortilla shells
It's-
with cream cheese and seasonings and sometimes meat.
Did y'all do those, Tyler?
Mm-mm.
Up north?
And then you roll them up and you cut them into little, and it makes
Pinwheels.
little pinwheels.
They sell them.
Yeah.
Like you can buy them at Sam's or Costco in a big tray. It's usually like cream cheese and salsa or some herbs and some kind of creamy cheese.
You used to do one with sausage. It was like cream cheese.
Yeah.
Breakfast sausage.
It was really good. I did that with like crescent roll. Crescent roll, well, you got to have so many. You need a dozen cans for Christmas.
It's like when you prep for Christmas, you get a bunch of blocks of cream cheese, a bunch of cheese,
Velveeta, Rotel,
Blue Plate.
Lots of Blue Plate. You got to have the Blue Plate.
I wanted to make a post at Thanksgiving. You know, we have that big giant jug of Blue Plate. I was going to make a post that if you aren't using a gallon of Blue Plate for Thanksgiving,
you ain't even doing
you ain't doing nothing.
Kind of goes for Christmas too.
Same thing.
Yeah. What I would do, it's like a block of cream cheese and a pound of breakfast sausage. You brown the sausage, and while it's warm, you mix in the cream cheese and stir it all up, and it makes like a meat cheese mixture.
Didn't you add salsa or something?
No. You don't do that. Not this one.
Cream cheese and sausage.
But this one goes like a casserole dish, and you spread out.
Oh, that's the one you cook.
Yeah, you spread out a sheet of crescent roll dough, and then you top it with that stuff, and you put another sheet on top and bake it. And then when you bake it, you turn it out and you cut it into squares, and you've got this little pastry with the cream cheese and sausage in it. It's really, really good. It goes for brunch or it goes for like dinner at finger foods. It's really good for breakfast, though.
How do you feel about mini quiche? You hate mini quiche, don't you?
That's the weakest of the. Well, I've never had anybody home make them. Oh, this is this processed little crusty,
Sam's Club.
Yeah, and the if the stuff they're putting in the little phyllo dough sucks, the phyllo dough is not going to help.
Yeah,
because it is like it's almost like eating some paper or grass or something. It just has no flavor. Like it's not seasoned phyllo dough.
And sometimes it gets too crunchy and almost gets hard.
Those are my least favorite phyllo cups of something.
Stuffed mushrooms.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I like stuffed mushrooms.
I saw one mini crab cakes.
Nope. That's got fish wrote all over it. That's got fish wrote all. You don't mini crab cakes. You make a jumbo lump crab cake with a good sauce to drizzle over it.
Ham and cheese biscuits.
Always.
We call them ham and cheese biscuits, but it's kind of rolls.
Yeah. I mean, anything like Hawaiian roll makes the list of necessities you have to buy. And so I'm down with anything on a Hawaiian roll during the holidays. Ham and cheese is probably the best, and it's Swiss cheese. It's got to be like.
See, I like provolone.
Oh, really? I think I like the Swiss. That's the original way, but it's like a mustard, butter, Worcestershire sauce, and you brush the bottom of the Hawaiian roll, and you layer. It's like cheese, thin sliced deli ham, cheese, thin sliced deli ham, top buns, more butter over the top. Bake them dudes.
They get gooey, and
you can pellet grill them. You can put them on any kind of grill. You just need to be able to do 350. If you need to, do them in the oven. But that's holiday. That's definitely holiday food.
I like meatballs any way you get them. Like you can do Asian, you can do that Carolina Gold one we have. I like them because they sit in the crock pot. They stay hot and warm. And at the end of the night, after you've had a few and everybody's hungry, the meatballs are ready to go.
I'm going to tell you, the barbecue sauce was not, I mean, the Carolina Gold ones are good, but to me, that's like summertime.
Yeah.
I don't really want those during Christmas. Like Christmas, it needs to be the traditional, where it's like the grape jelly, the chili sauce, and maybe either the pineapple chunks or the cherries in it.
Gross.
And then you put the little cocktail weenies and the meatballs in the same thing. And then, oh man, those are good. I know you've had those, haven't you, Tyler?
I haven't had it like that, but I made the Carolina Gold ones for the Mike Tyson fight. And I changed my wife's life. Like she
liked
me to make them forever.
That's the easiest there is to make.
Was it just the Carolina Gold sauce and meatballs?
Frozen meatballs and Carolina Gold.
And it was the easiest thing I prepped that day. It was crazy. It was just like throw it in a crock pot, forget about it. 5 hours later, we were good to go.
How could you fancy that up? Like,
I don't know.
Because you just serve it in a crock pot.
Yeah.
I served it with ranch on the side. Like people were kind of dipping it in the ranch and stuff like that. And they kind of liked that.
Yeah.
I could see that being good. I've never dipped a meatball in ranch, but
it was very saucy. Down. Like, because you have like all the Carolina Gold sauce and then you're dipping it in ranch. So it's definitely messy, but it was really good.
Dips. Now, dips got to be, you got to have some dips for the holidays. What's your favorite?
I mean, I love that spinach dip, cold Norse spinach dip.
That is really, with Hawaiian rolls, like you're supposed to get the Hawaiian bowl, but you can never find those.
I found one at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, but it's Christmas. It's hard to find them. But I like them. I like them just with the roll. Like I'll take a Hawaiian roll, bust it open, put me a big scoop of that on there, and it's like a little spinach sandwich. It's good.
We were eating it with Ritz, and it was pretty good with the Ritz.
It's good. I mean, you can eat it with celery and carrots. I mean, you don't have to have the carb, but the carb's good.
That was life changing to me. Like Shell made it for me for the first time 2 years ago, and it was like super good, like really, really good.
This is like stuff that I figure everybody knows. It's like,
yeah, he told me because he loves spinach artichoke.
Yeah.
He told me he never had cold spinach dip. I was like, oh,
did you feed your wife that?
Yeah, she loved it too.
Yeah, man, if you don't like, that's another. Got to have the blue plate for it. Just what is it, like one box? Is it 2 boxes or 1 box of frozen spinach?
Just one.
But you've got a trick that makes it better.
You got to cook the spinach.
Yeah, even though it's froze, you don't just thaw it and put it off in there and squeeze the water out. You got to cook it a little bit.
But just in the microwave. Like pop it in the microwave for 3 minutes and let it's like it cooks out some of the moisture and it softens the spinach so it has a better texture. That's what I think.
Then you squeeze out all the water?
And then you squeeze out as much water as you can possibly get.
And then it's like blue plate sour cream, a packet of Knorr, and then some seasoning.
That's pretty much it.
You don't.
Green onions.
You kind of substitute the green onions for the water chestnuts. We don't follow that. That's like the original, the way it was made back in the 60s, 50s, 60s, whenever they started making it, was like with water chestnuts.
Yeah, they're horrible.
I don't like them either.
They don't like have any flavor.
They do them a lot in Asian food. I don't like them.
Even when they cook them, yeah.
It's not a good texture.
So I saw one, it was caramelized pecans, like a sweet caramelized pecan. And they'd taken 2 pecans and put a blue cheese cream in between it and made like a caramelized pecan and blue cheese sandwich.
Just like a little bite?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. Well, you could do it with goat cheese too.
You could do it with goat cheese.
So it's like the pralines that I do on the smoker where you put them in some butter.
Yeah, it was like butter and sugar.
You
could probably caramelize them any way you want. You could even use a little
crock pot. I've done them in a crock pot too. But yeah, you put a pinch of cayenne in there to give them a little bump.
So you get the sweet.
Man, that's a good idea because you get that creamy savoriness to go with the pecan. I bet that is good. And
you use something else to whip your blue cheese so it's creamier.
Yeah.
But so what about Christmas breakfast?
Cinnamon. You got to do the cinnamon roll casserole. Bread pudding, white chocolate bread pudding.
That's
not
a heck of a breakfast.
Heck yeah, it is. You start your day off right. You get you like Buddy the Elf style type. You go ahead and get you a swig of maple syrup. Eat you that breakfast, and then you got the whiskey sauce that goes all over it, and then you get you a stack of pancakes with more maple syrup.
That whiskey. That white chocolate whiskey sauce is so
good. Yeah, it would be good on French toast.
Yeah.
You could use that on French toast.
That's a good idea.
Really, really good. But so for me, we always had casseroles, and that's why we do it at our house. We would have a breakfast casserole. We would have, you started doing the cinnamon roll thing, and that's kind of where I learned that. And it's really easy. It's pretty much brown sugar, butter, and chopped pecans in the bottom of an iron skillet or casserole dish. You got to get the big grand cinnamon rolls, the ones that are rolled up. I don't want the biscuit ones. I want the ones that are rolled up. You put them on top of it and you bake it. And then you turn it out and all that sticky, ooey, caramelized goodness is all over the top of them. It's like think of an upside down pineapple cake. It's kind of upside down cinnamon rolls.
And then you take the icing.
That came with it. And it's a cream cheese icing and you drizzle that over it. And man, that's good too. I don't know if you need to have that in the bread pudding. God, you're going to put yourself in a sugar coma.
I usually do the sticky buns and the sausage breakfast casserole.
Yeah.
Traditional.
And then sausage balls and then.
Yeah. But I saw this other casserole that I wanted to try. It was croissant and ham casserole. They took croissants and they chopped it up into like a big croissant. They chopped it into 3 pieces and then they rolled their ham, just put hunks of ham off in there. And then they put slices of cheese. So it didn't have like the consistency I want.
Yeah.
I'd want to chop my croissants a little
You're talking about like a raw croissant?
Yeah.
Or like
but then
Pillsbury
you take like
croissant or a real like you buy them from the bakery?
Buy them from the bakery.
But they're already baked?
Yes. That's your bread element.
Okay. And you chop that
up and have ham, cheese, and then you pour like a egg cream mixture over the top.
So it's a breakfast casserole, but it's a croissant. That would be really good.
Yeah. But I would want to chop my ham a little better and just so the consistencies, it's not going to be as pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it was really pretty when you poured it out. And then once they pulled it out, they topped it with an herb butter.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
I saw one where they did the crescent rolls. They built them, they sliced them and built them like the little ham biscuits, stacked them in a casserole dish, and then poured the melted butter and stuff all over them and then baked them. So when you took them out, you had these little crescent roll ham sandwiches that were baked in that butter with Shire.
Hold on. So is it cooked crescent rolls?
Yeah, yeah. They're already cooked, just like the Hawaiian rolls.
Oh, okay.
They just used crescent rolls, and then they lined them up in a casserole dish once they got them built, brushed them with all the goodness, baked them at 350. So you've got that little same thing going on. It's just in a crescent roll, and it looked really good.
I love crescent
with
rolls.
the little poppy seeds over the top of it.
And smoked salmon to me.
That's a breakfast because you know what I'm going to do with it.
What are you going to do with it?
Cream cheese, a little tomato, a little onion, a little caper. Oh, man.
What's the carb element to that?
The bagel. I do them on bagels. And you can do mini bagels or you can do the big ones, but that's nothing says breakfast like that to me. That's when I go on vacation, that's what I'm getting. And they call it what? Bagel and lox. But I like it with smoked salmon. I don't think lox is smoked. I don't know. I'm not up on my preparation of salmons but for that, but I just know it's good.
Well, I'm going to Costco tomorrow. So.
That and the eggs Benny. If we could figure out an eggs Benny casserole, that would be a good one to do.
That's my favorite. I'll sleep on the smoked salmon, but eggs Benedict. Yeah.
Man, I love it. It's so good. With ham, with sausage, however you want to do it. With salmon.
With the hollandaise.
Smoked salmon, eggs Benedict. Man, it's good.
Do y'all do yours on an open-faced fresh biscuit, or do you do English muffin?
If I'm doing pulled pork, I do biscuit. But if I'm doing just traditional, I'll do an English muffin.
To me, it depends on what's the softest. Because
So we had one when I was in Texas with instead of the English muffin, it was with sourdough. And it was really like, if you could take Ashley's sourdough and make an eggs Benedict with it, it would be excellent.
Might have to do that
because it gave it just a little. I mean, I like the texture better because the English muffin's got kind of weird texture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's got like these open cells that you know what it's made out of, and it toasts up, but it's just a weird texture.
Well, it kind of depends on what you get too.
Yeah,
I've had some really good ones, and I've had some that
kind of spongy.
Yeah, but I'm going to Costco tomorrow, so I'm gonna see about the smoked salmon.
Oh yeah, you got to get it. So get the one that's like the 3 packs of the different ones, and get 2 of
them. So if today, that'll be like the 13th. I'm going to go to Costco. If I get a beef tenderloin from Costco on the 13th, will it be good in the fridge to cook on the Christmas?
Should be.
Is that too early to buy it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you should get 7 to 10 days, I would think. So what did that put? That's going to put, the 13th to the 20th.
Not the 20th, 25th.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be pushing it. You'd probably want to freeze it.
Okay, so don't buy it yet.
Yeah, don't buy it yet.
Okay.
Don't buy it yet.
So
Next week.
Something that kind of confuses me but goes along the same thing. So it goes bad after 10 days, supposedly, but what is wet aging? Like,
if you know the pack date, it's going to be good. I mean, it should be good for 60 days from when it's packed in refrigeration. Okay. It should be. Now, I don't like them to go longer than 30. That's optimal. So if you know the pack date, you're probably going to be all right. And some of them would probably tell you that, you could get 2 weeks out of this when you take it home in the refrigerator. But you're going to be pushing it, and I would hate to gamble with the beef tenderloin like that. It's so expensive that I don't want to push it out and open it, and it, like, man, I should have cooked this when I got it.
Yeah, the problem is you don't know the pack date.
Yeah,
it could have already been wet aging for.
Could have been sitting out there for a while. And I imagine Costco's turning them pretty fast, and they're opening them up and getting them out. Mm-hmm. But the trick to that is when you go to these club stores like Sam's and Costco, ask them to bring some out of the back because they usually bring the box out, and you can look at the box and see what the date was when that meat was packed in that box. Then you know.
You used to do that with briskets
all the time. Yeah, because I wanted to get them 30 days. So I would ask them to bring some out of the back. And usually, like, if they got a bunch out in their meat case, they're probably not going to bring some out. But if it's kind of slim pickings, they'll always bring some out.
I feel like at Costco it's kind of easy because they have that little window that they kind of knock on it, and they're always.
You can probably ask them, hey, come back here and look, get me one out of that box that's got a the freshest pack date. They'll usually do it. They're pretty cool. I don't know about this time of year. They're probably jammed.
I know. I hate to ask them this time of year.
Like they're so busy.
You got a line of people waiting on some rotisserie chickens.
Man, don't you like going to Costco this time of year, though?
Yes, that's why I want to go.
Look at all the treats. Get a big tub of the popcorn, the 3 things of popcorn.
Oh, I'm going to get all kinds of
And then the other one, the bag of the caramel and cheddar.
I like to look at their appetizers, like their frozen appetizers, too.
Just don't get the quiche.
I won't get the quiche.
They have like really good pre-made stuff. Like,
yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely.
They have this tortellini pasta salad that is like, I've probably brought it to 3 gatherings this year because everybody's like, oh, how did you make this? You know, you put it in a bowl and trick everybody to pretend like you made it.
So you didn't do nothing to it. You just dump it out.
Yep. I think actually the last time I did pour a little Italian stallion over because I thought maybe it needed a little bit, but yeah, super good.
Those are my favorite kind of things. You pour it out into something else and
like, oh yes.
All right, so I got a couple questions for you.
All right.
So Casey, this is from the community. Are we still doing the giveaway in the community?
Yeah, so there's going to be one more giveaway starting today. So if you're listening to this on Friday, December 13th, it'll start today. It'll only go for 5 days. So make sure y'all get your entries in. It's going to be the pin post at the very top on Facebook.com/group/let's oh my goodness, H2Q community. That's the only time I've ever screwed that up. All we're asking for y'all to do is comment down below what y'all are cooking for Christmas dinner.
And what's the giveaway?
The giveaway is How to Barbecue Right stuff. So we're giving away seasoning stuff, pretty much just a bunch of things to kind of help y'all out with your holiday cooking. And we're going to try to get there fast.
Or give it as a gift to somebody for Christmas.
Yeah. We just gave away how many new ThermoWorks? Are they RFDs?
RFXs.
RFX.
We gave away 2 4-probe units to 2 lucky winners, and those I think they already have them. And then we gave away 3 $150 How to Barbecue Right gift cards.
I'm excited. They sent me some new probes. Yeah. I only had the one with mine. Now
you can watch all kinds
monitoring
of stuff.
some meat.
And I actually have a correction to make because they listened to the podcast, and I originally said I think you can have up to 4 probes. You can actually have up to 52.
What?
Yep.
No way.
Same time, yeah.
On one unit, 52 probes.
What do you need that many?
It's watching a lot of meat.
Yeah, it's watching a lot of meat.
Well, I was going to say, because like when I do Christmas and I'm doing these beef tenderloins, and I'll probably talk more about this next week because I know we were going to talk about big meats next week. But I like to put multiple probes in that beef tenderloin or that prime rib. That way I know what it's out towards the end, but I also know where the middle is where I'm really worried about it. And I get somewhere in between. It lets me watch it at multiple places. And my beef tenderloins and prime ribs have gotten way better by watching that instead of just going by one. And that ThermoWorks RFX makes a big difference.
Heck yeah.
Christmas gift of the year.
It really is.
If you don't have it, you probably ain't going to get it. I don't know. They might ship it to you if you ordered it tomorrow.
All right. So Casey says, so I just got on the pulled ham bandwagon.
Heck yeah.
Love it. Family wants them to do one for a Christmas gathering, but the ham that they bought was literally 20 pounds. Should I cut it up?
Dang, that's a monster.
Should I shred it?
I wonder if it's a whole ham, like shank and butt portion. Because usually that's when you only see them that big.
So what would you do? You got a 20
I'd probably half it. I'd try to half it, and then I'd do 2 halves. Because you're just pulling it anyway, so you're going to speed up your cook time by halving it. And it's easier to manage.
I figured 20 pounds, it would get.
Well, what's going to happen on a 20-pounder, it's so big, the outside's going to dry way out before you get the inside to where it'll shred. So having it halved would make sense.
Yeah, then you got 2 10-pound
hams. That you can manage normal. And you're going to be able to do it, yeah. It's still going to take longer than you think. That pulled ham takes a minute. I mean, you need 4 or 5 hours to get it up to where it's ready to serve, and then you wrap it up. And put some moisture in there for it to help braise, and then you cook it till it breaks down. So you've got another 4 or 5 hours. So I would give myself 10, knowing that it might not take all 10, but that gives you some rest room.
Kyle asks, my family wants me to smoke a brisket for Christmas. The problem is where I'm at, they're going to be traveling 3 days before going and staying at family's house. Where he's going to be staying at does not have a smoker. So have you ever smoked, frozen, and reheated a brisket before?
Absolutely. Take you a sous vide with you. They pack easy. They're not very big.
Yeah.
Vacuum seal that dude once you get it cooled, vacuum sealed. Take it with you. If it's 3 days, you don't have to freeze it.
I wouldn't freeze it for 3 days.
You're going to be fine in the refrigerator for 3 days, up to a week. And then when you get ready to warm it back up, use that sous vide. When all you need, you can use like a little party stacker cooler, but they make these little plastic tubs. Cambro brand has some, but it's basically like a clear food tub. Your motor goes on the end of it. Get that dude circulating at 140, warm it up.
Before you drop it in the sous vide, let it come up to room temp.
Yeah, I mean,
or does it matter?
It ain't gonna make that big a difference.
Okay. Well, when you do it in the oven,
I would keep as much juice as it. Like when you cook that brisket, I would save a little bit of the au jus or the renderings that come out. Pour that in there when it's cool, and when the vacuum seal it. That way, you've already got some moisture in there too. Warm it up. At 140 on the sous vide, it's going to take several hours to get it up to. You're just trying to get it to 140 to serve it, and I would wait and slice it when I got there. So you're just kind of warming it up whole. And then slice it and serve it, and it'll be excellent.
What if you don't have a sous vide? You got to use the oven.
You can use the oven. I'd put it in a deep pan, have me some liquid in there, keep it covered with foil, just bring it up. Put it on like 300 and bring it up.
Nice and slow.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 or 3 hours. And
do you only take it to 140 at that point?
Yeah, it's done.
You're not going to take it further. Yeah. Joe. He's been wanting to try prime rib for New Year's dinner.
For New Year's?
Yeah. That's a heck of a New Year's dinner.
New Year's, yeah.
Should he brine inject?
Nope.
What's temp time and estimates? Basically, how do you cook a prime rib?
Cook a prime rib. I was going to talk about that next week.
Okay. It's super easy.
It's easy, though. Season up the outside of it with pretty heavily. Put it on the smoker, about 250, 275. Put your thermometer in it. Take it up to about 122. Take it off, let it rest a little bit, slice it up.
Let it rest a lot.
Yeah. At least 30 minutes. It's easy, though.
Heath, he's got an hour and a half drive. He's going to double smoke a ham before he leaves. Mm-hmm. Will it be warm and not over steamed if he puts it in a cooler?
Yeah, it'll be fine. Right. You bring it up to 140, wrap that dude up tight, stick it in a cooler, travel, slice it up when you get there. It's going to be good to go.
Most of the questions this time of year are like,
how do I travel? Yeah, I mean, because a lot of people, you're not going to have sometimes you don't even have an oven where you're going because it's the people that's house you're going to is using it. Mm-hmm. And you don't know what kind of equipment they're going to have outside. They might tell you they got a smoker and you get there and it's like one of them old Brinkman R2D2 looking ones, that haven't been used in 10 years.
Well, at Thanksgiving, you had to do a bunch of work on the smoker.
Yeah, to get it going. You never know. So I think it's always, if you had, most of the food, the bigger cuts of meat, they're going to travel really well. They're going to be fine. Leave them in that cooler as long as possible when you get there. Like, wait till everybody gets their stuff done. Get yours out right before serving time and prep it and serve it. It's going to be the warmest. But you got to think also, a lot of these hams and even the prime rib and stuff, you don't have to eat them scorching hot. Like even with the honey baked ham, their direction is eat it at room temp. You take it out of the refrigerator or out of the freezer, let it thaw in the fridge, and then you serve it at room temp. So you think about a lot of this meat is meant to be eaten like that, or it can be. Now, is it better warm? I think so. I'd rather have mine warm. And get you one of them casserole mats like Shell found on.
I love that casserole mat.
That might be the gift of Christmas too.
I want another one.
Well, what I'm thinking, like if I was serving, say brisket or something like that, and I'm putting it out, often when I'm going somewhere, we're not fancying it up, putting it on a fancy platter or whatever, but you could. But I'll just serve it in the aluminum pan that I bring it in, and then you can set that pan right on that mat, and you can set that temp, and it's going to keep it just right to where it stays warm enough not to overcook it any, but it's going to keep it still warm. And those little mats are pretty cool.
So product review real quick before we wrap it up.
I don't even know what it's called.
I don't either.
Casserole mat. Look it up on Amazon real quick.
It's like a heated serving mat.
Yeah. And you can put like
we talked about it before Thanksgiving.
But we used it.
But we have actually used it. Food warming mat.
That's all it's called on Amazon. What are they, $30?
Yeah. $30-$40.
Yeah. It's like a heating pad for casserole dishes.
And it worked. I used it to rise rolls.
Yeah, it made those yeast rolls rise really good.
Yes. I used it to keep, casseroles warm. I want another one because it's pretty big.
You can probably put 3 9x11 casserole
I don't know if you
dishes.
get
Is
3.
It 9x11? What's the standard size? It's 9x13.
9x13.
Yeah.
Is your stand? It could easily get 2 on there.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could get 3.
You don't think I get 3? We need more then.
Oh, okay. So they're almost $60.
Oh. I think they've jacked that price up since you bought.
But yeah, I want another one. And you can set the temp. You can make it go high.
Yeah.
You can make it go low.
You can just have it to warm.
But anyway,
one of those.
What?
So I'm gonna get me one of those.
Yeah, no, I mean those really do make it excellent. If you got somebody that entertains buffet style, that's the gift for them.
Oh, we'll use it a lot.
A lot, yeah.
Well, right now we just throw everything in a crock pot. It's like, we'll make the mashed potatoes for Thanksgiving, throw it in a crock pot. Make this, throw it in a crock pot.
You got a dozen crock pots.
And then you end up with like really dry mac and cheese by the time everybody's getting ready to eat, because it's just cooks the heck out of it, even on low, you know? So.
We end up with everything in a casserole dish with foil over it.
Yeah. But it said that on the warming mat. Well, Malc, that's all I have for you today.
All right. Well, I don't know how many days till Christmas it is. Today's the 12th.
Yes.
13th.
This is coming out on the 13th.
Yeah, so 12 more days after if you're listening to us on Friday.
Man, it ain't long, y'all.
Not long. We're fixing to go have a little Christmas party.
That's it. What are we doing for our Christmas party? We're playing fun time games.
We're playing Christmas Olympics.
We're having Chick-fil-A.
We're having Chick-fil-A and pizza.
Dang, it doesn't get any better than that.
Heck yes.
Who's going to... All right, Tyler, I'm nominating you to do the buddy dance on the table in there in the conference room. Have you ever seen the TikToks of people doing it? Yeah, this one woman's got it down. She can do the whole dance.
I'm going to need some of that good maple syrup in the flask first. But
All right. Well, hey, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Shell, tell everybody where they can find us.
If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Well, I guess it's X, but whatever.
We know.
And if you'd like to connect with me, it's Miss Southern Shell on Instagram and TikTok.
All right. Tyler, community, you've already said about that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if y'all are listening to this on Friday, we'll talk more about this next week. We just dropped a new podcast called Out the Smoke. So head on over to youtube.com/Out the Smoke and binge all 4 of the brand new episodes hosted by Mark Williams.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun time. Shell, you did an episode with it.
I did.
And you did Greg Rempe while I was gone. We didn't get into that. Didn't we talk to you about that next week?
Sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about Greg because it'll be coming up. I'll be having him it'll be after New Year's, because I think New Year's on a Wednesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here, go have a little Christmas celebrating here at the office, and we will be back next week for the final episode of 2025. We're going to bring in 2025. We'll see y'all next time. We gone.